Nice work. Well done.
Hey, what's up guys? It's on here. I just got the brand new Renetti, and I'm gonna grind it to gold. For today's story, I'm gonna tell you about that one time I sleepwalked on a cruise ship. It's also the one and only time I've ever sleepwalked. If you're just here for the loadout, here's a timestamp, and it's also in the description below, along with the rest of my thoughts on this gun. So when I was younger, my family and I went on a cruise ship for summer vacation, once when I was 11, and the other when I was 12. This cruise line was known as the Carnival, or more specifically the Carnival Pride. Not sponsored, by the way, at least not yet. We would board the ship at the port of Baltimore, and it would take us down south to Florida to either go to Disney World or SeaWorld at Orlando. Not sponsored, by the way. Then it would take us further down south to the Bahamas in the Caribbean. And by the end of the week, we would be back in Baltimore. When I was 12, my dad and I shared a room while my sisters and my mom stayed in theirs. My mom liked going on early morning walks to see the sunrise. I was a morning person, but even I didn't like waking up that early. But just this once, I wanted to be ready. So I went to bed early that night. Then I suddenly woke up and couldn't fall back asleep. I couldn't tell what time it was. I checked my phone, but I didn't get a phone until I was already 13. Imagine that, a 12-year-old without a phone in this day and age. Even for that day and age, my dad was asleep and I didn't want to wake him up. So I figured I'll just go ask my mom and sisters instead. My room number was 501, and theirs was 502. Since it was next door, it shouldn't be that much of an issue to walk all the way over there. Boy, was I wrong. Remember when I said I couldn't fall back asleep? The second I left my room, my vision was fading in and out of consciousness with each step. And well, I just blacked out. The next thing I knew, I felt something cold, yet fuzzy on my face. I was lying face first on the floor. It must have looked like something straight out of a crime scene. I opened my eyes and lifted my chin up to see what was ahead of me, and I saw a janitor, just vacuuming the next hall and minding his own business. I don't know if he noticed me, but I was too drowsy to call out to him. But if he did notice me, he probably just thought I was wasted. I slowly made my way to my feet. I tried looking at the room numbers, but my legs felt heavy, and my vision was blurry again. All the numbers looked the same. 502. I looked to my left, and to my right. Both ends of the hall. Well, didn't look like they ended. So, after a bit of tripping and tripping, I just decided to knock on a random door. So I knocked, and when I didn't get an answer right away, I was knocked out again. I'm hoping it was just a few seconds. I knocked once more, this time determined to stay awake and get an answer. I heard a bit of scrambling, and when the door opened, I saw a young couple, partially clothed, and confused. I mean, I too would be confused if a sleepy 12-year-old randomly knocked on my door during some unprotected hand-holding at who knows what hour. Anyway, I apologized and they closed the door. I looked at their room number. 519. I could see again, and I knew exactly where I was. And so I walked all the way back to the girls' room and asked what time it was. They were still all awake, and it was 1 in the morning. With that knowledge, I went back to bed as if nothing ever happened. And so, that's the story of how I potentially blue-balled somebody's honeymoon while sleepwalking on a cruise ship. If you've got a story of your own, or want me to grind gold on a certain gun that you want, feel free to comment below. Like this video if you enjoyed it, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification to stay tuned for future content. My name is On, and I'm off.
DMCA, violating the DMCA. All the new DD